Hello, 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 and welcome to Essential Detox.
Woo, woo.
Of course, I am Pearl,
I am Ebony.
and we are so happy for you all to welcome you back to our podcast. How are you been doing today, Ebony?
Girl, man's been tired.
Girl, let me tell. If that's not the truth, truer
Tired.
words have never been spoken. And you know what the funny thing is, Ebony? Be tired as hell, but we work from home.
Yeah, girl, yeah. Well, I work from home and I go into the office too, so I'm a hybrid.
Okay. Okay.
And then on top of that, um, starting back up with my education again.
Mm,
Doctorate degree just started my first class on Wednesday, so trying to get my brain prepared for writing discussions and writing papers.
yikes. I work for a marketing company based out in Burbank, California, and it's my responsibility to do the training. And I remember I texted you yesterday. I was like, "Girl, I'm tired. I'm tired." Like I don't know if it was Friday, but my mind was just
Look,
over with. I was running on absolute fumes, and I kept on apologizing to my trainees. I'm like, y'all, I'm sorry, but it's just one of them days. It's one of them days.
it happened.
It,
Because all I know is, I think Wednesday, yes, it was Wednesday because I went into the office. So Tuesday, like literally, pretty much, I didn't sleep. I got no sleep.
really,
I was up for over 24 hours because I could not sleep. Like,
I've done that before.
and I was like, and I was praying, like, Lord, what is happening? What is going on? Like, I done took this medicine to help me sleep, and honey, I was not sleeping. I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna just stay up. And then I was like, oh, okay, I'll get a couple of hours. I'll get a few hours. I closed my eyes popped right back open. I was like, are you serious? Now, mind you, I meet with people face to face, people
Hmm.
with what I do. So, um, it 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 took a lot in me to stay up and pay attention and be present for my clients. It took a whole lot for me to,
Yes.
and I was like, oh my God. And then on top of that, going home, being in traffic, my Uber driver was like, oh, I'm using Waze. And so,
Using
that
weight. What now?
he was using Waze. It's a navigation app that
Oh, okay, okay,
do,
okay.
like whether there's like traffic or accident ahead, all of this stuff. But
Apparently, he wasn't using it too well.
Waze didn't tell him jack shit because we were in traffic. I know for about an for about an hour. And I was like, dude, at the next exit, I said, I need you to do your best to slowly get over. And when we get to that next exit, I need you to exit. I ended up missing meeting with a client, so I missed money. I ended up getting home like closer, like later than 7 than what I normally get. Like I was pissed off because I had calculated that I would have gotten home at by 6, so that way I would have been able to meet with my client,
Uh
do what
huh.
I need to do. Nah, baby, I got in, and when I tell you, I ate and I went to sleep. I didn't wake up till like the next day.
Yeah.
I want to say I went to sleep about 8, 9 o'clock. Shit, I was out.
Yeah, I was the same way. Like I clocked out. I called Amy briefly. She was knocked out because she getting beat up by her almost 5 month old grandson every day,
Oh, Lord.
and and so she was tired, and so I think I only ate like some ramen, something real quick to fix. I ate some ramen, and then I didn't wake up until like 9 this morning, and I went to bed like at 8, and that's early for me.
Girl, no. I can't
You
believe
know,
you woke up at 9.
You know what? I don't know why. I can't help it. Like, waking up early on an off day is not unusual for
I know
me.
it, but
It's
that's why
not
I woke
unusual.
up earlier, and I'm like, you woke up at 9, what?
Yeah, I woke up at 9. I woke up at 9 and I stayed up until like 12, no 1. And then I went back to sleep and my alarm went off at 3:30. I hit the snooze button like a couple of times. And then
Okay,
I finally got up and took a shower.
yeah,
And here we are. Here
look,
we are.
we make it happen. Just
Here
it's
we are.
real problems.
Like real problems. Like just laying in the bed. Like I really do not want to get up, but I got things to do. You got to force
Yeah,
yourself out of bed
look,
nowadays.
I, it's like literally, I be having to force myself out of bed because I do not be wanting to get up. Like,
Do
you
you
know,
think that's something like with our like our age now because we're both in our 30s?
um, I think honestly, like this day and age, I believe so because more people that are like our age that are like in their early to mid 30s, like we're going to bed. Like we ain't really just staying up like we did in the 20s. Like we're not doing that anymore. We're like, can we have a nap?
Yes. Like,
Like
girl, let me tell you something. My life can be an absolute positively shit show shambles. But every day I'm gonna find time to take me a nap. A nap is gonna happen. If not every day, every other day.
I take an hour and a half for lunch, 30 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes. There's a nap happening.
There's a nap. I'm gonna stretch out on my couch, or I'm gonna come back and lay in the bed.
Girl, I can't lay in the bed because if I lay in the bed, I ain't getting back. The client's just gonna
Look, I've been known just to sit at my work desk and set my alarm and just close my eyes and just let it go. Just let it go. Just to
Look,
get my mind right.
but baby, but hey, this is life for us. We love naps. We drink a little bit and we go to work.
Girl, because you know how we were on our little vacation. We
Baby,
got up early. We did what we needed to do, and what we do, we come back to the room, took a
nap.
nap, got back up, and went
And
back
no, and then it
out.
was a few times we'd be like, "Are we supposed to go to this? You want to go? Nah,
No,
okay,
girl, okay. No, I don't know. We got we can play in something else.
but guess what? We came back well rested though, and
Yes,
that's
we
what a
did.
vacation is supposed to be. And so for those of you that are wondering, me and Pearl, we took a hiatus because life was simply happening. After I came back from Dubai, and we did an episode, but after that, I was preparing to move. Pearl was like starting like some new stuff with her job, and so schedules just wasn't meshing. And then I ended up moving, and then like literally a week after I moved, we are heading to Galveston to go on our vacation. We went on a cruise and had a great time.
Beautiful
And
time. First
then
time cruising for me.
my second time cruising, and it was a really great time. But we definitely there was some definite things that we was just like really like it
It
was.
could have been a little bit better.
Yeah, definitely could have been a little bit better, but all in all, we did have a good time. But then, like a few weeks after coming back, your girl got hit with COVID. Like I
Yes.
got hit with COVID. Mind you, I had both COVID vaccine shots. I hadn't been able to get the booster, so it hit me. And when it hit me hard. So I was down for like 2 weeks, but I mean, ugh, like it was horrible. It was
So
horrible.
with the symptoms that you did have, like I know because I talked to you during that time,
Hmm.
um, but it wasn't. When we're thankful that it wasn't as like it was bad as it could have been, like
Yeah,
hospitalized,
yeah,
ventilator. Because I know you have asthma, and you were complaining about like some like shallow breathing, like when you moved, like did a lot of moving, that you. But thankfully, like I said, it wasn't that bad where you had to go to the hospital.
Yeah, because literally for me, it was just like it was the worst flu I could have ever had in my life. Like, and
I've had the flu. Me
I've had the
too.
flu before, but this was like the worst because I kept had like I stayed having a fever, and then it would break, and then I'd have a fever again, and then it would break, and I would have a fever, and like it made it to where like I mean, I literally was taking. So what I did that I think really helped was I was doing my asthma pump every day, and I took cold and flu medicine. And so like I was doing like when I tell you I was like pumping my body with so much stuff because I was like, well, we're not gonna do is be in a hospital. So like, no, we're not gonna do that. But I mean, I was still, I was still eating. I wouldn't eat a whole lot, but I made sure that I was eating, like whether it was soup or just even drinking broth, whatever it was. I was keeping, I was keeping myself hydrated, just doing all the stuff that I knew to do because I mean, I'm not immune to being sick. Like I've been sick so many times in my life, but I hadn't been that kind of sick in a very long time, but that was a different kind of sick. And then for afterwards, to have the after effect of still having issues with my breathing, where like I can't walk fast, I can't run, like I can barely even jog. Like it's it still gives me, but I'm all right, I'm good. Been testing negative for for what 4 or 5 months now, so good. But man, COVID is nothing to play with.
It ain't no joke. Now, did you finally go and get your booster shot?
Mm, yeah, I got the like literally when I found out that I when I got my negative results, like I want to say 2 days after that, I went and got the booster because I was like, I'm not
Yeah,
playing. And
yeah.
then
I got mine too.
I plan
Um,
next booster because who not playing is me.
is me. Like I encourage like all of our listeners. I know some people have their reservations about going and getting the shot because they don't know it. Some people say they created it too fast, and you know see the reports from the CDC and everything like that. My whole thing about that is that like polio, they created that fast, and we still get polio shots. We still get shots for chicken pox, even though I've had the chicken pox. I had a bad case of the chicken pox when I was small.
I have
We get chick. Yeah, I got the chicken, girl. It was horrible. I've we still get shots for the measles and the mumps and all this. Like was it HPV? I got a shot for that. My thing is I'd rather be safe than sorry. The shot is it's not bad. You'll suffer like some flu-like symptoms, some body aches, and a fever. And for me, that felt worse because I haven't been sick during this whole pandemic. Like usually this time of year, going into the winter, I would get sinus infections. I
yeah.
haven't had a sinus infection since the pandemic happened.
Wow.
And so when I took the shot, I felt really bad because I haven't felt sick in such a long time. But I'm willing to have a fever for a couple of days and a sore arm and some body aches to ensure that I'm safe. So
Really. For me, getting the shot because I work in mental health. So where I was working last year, I was working in a mental health facility with children, adolescents, and geriatric patients. So yeah, I needed. I was like, I was gonna get the shot. Like that was
me
never
too.
that was never a question. It was just a question of when. Because I wanted to see like, okay, like how are people reacting to, getting both shots. And when I, saw enough, when I had enough results for myself, I was like, okay, let me go ahead and get this done. And I did. And so the first shot, like my arm was sore. That was really it. The second
It
shot,
took me down.
it didn't take me down, but like I had like a little lower back pain. I had a headache, but I didn't have a fever or anything. My arm was sore, but that was really about it. But but catching COVID and still being vaccinated, that was like the oh my god, that was the worst. But
I think a lot of people think that just because they get vaccinated, they automatically become immune to COVID, and that is not the case. Like I've seen a lot of people, like if I go to the store, like I'm still wearing my mask when I go out, and
oh yeah,
so They think that, oh, I'm I don't have to wear a mask. I'm vaccinated. That's no, no. You still need to wear a mask. You still need to wear a mask. I know in the state of Texas, it's not a mandate now.
Oh no,
'Cause
it's
we're
not.
both from Texas. People. When I go to the nail salon, me and the nail techs are the only one that are wearing masks.
I don't play them
I'm
games.
a, I don't play them games. Okay with wearing my mask, be sitting right there in the chair while they working on my toes.
Mhm.
My toes. Like, I don't care. I don't care. I will always protect myself.
Yes, always, because who don't play them games is me.
It's not. It's too many people have died from this.
Oh
I
yeah.
have former students who have lost parents and
Mm,
other loved ones because of this, and I'm not trying to be in that number.
yeah.
If I can protect myself, stay prayed up, absolutely.
Yes.
But the word also tells us not to be fools either, and I would be a fool if I didn't try any other avenue other than to protect myself. So.
Definitely, definitely. For me, am I tired of wearing a mask? Hell yeah. Like, I really, yes.
Yeah, most
But
definitely.
at the end of the day, like, I don't know what everybody else got, you know? So, I don't want to catch it. And since I don't want to catch it, I'm gonna wear my mask. And especially after having COVID, that's why I'm glad that the job that I'm at now is hybrid, because I only go into I only work 4 days. So I go into the office 2 days, and I work from home 2 days. So, and even when I'm in the office, like, I have my own office, I sanitize it profusely. Like, I do not play games. And then, like, the way that everything is set up, like, there's like more than 6 feet between me and my client. So, so there's no, so even if we were to take the mask off, and, like, spit is flying out, that's still flying in the air.
Right. It's
If
not
it's
going
flying in the
straight
air,
here. Yeah.
I'm still probably gonna breathe that in. So no, we're not
Yeah.
doing that. So yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
then I tell my
Go
clients,
ahead.
if they're comfortable with not wearing a mask, cool. But I'm like, if you're not gonna wear one, then I am, because somebody still needs to be protected. And the thing is, like, I'm okay with that. As long as I'm gonna wear a mask. But and especially for what I do, sometimes wearing a mask, like, it can be very distorting. So it's like, okay, go ahead, hold it down, whatever you feel you need to do, and let's go ahead and do what we gotta do. But when people leave out my office, I sanitize, and then I take my mask off.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think in these times, being overcautious can never be too much, because honestly, this took the world out, and a lot of people are talking about, let's, forget and go back to normal, and I'm like, it's really never going to be back to normal, honestly, in a way. It's
And
just
the thing is,
not.
you can't forget, and you can't go back to normal.
You can't.
Like normal for us is different.
It's different now,
It's
very
very
different.
And people doing all this screaming of talking about my rights. Well, fuck your rights.
you
Because
know
let
my
me tell
aunt
you,
my
like,
aunt is like that. She was like, she won't take the vaccine.
I mean, of course you're
I
not.
want her to,
Yeah,
because she's older, and she was like, my body, my choice, and yeah, I don't get into that argument with her too much, because it's like a pointless or argument, and I'm
mm-hmm.
not gonna do that. But your your body, your choice, those rights kind of give segue if everybody else is in danger.
Yes.
You can't think about yourself. What about the person that you're living with? Uh, but what can you do?
Yeah.
But speaking of how things are happening in the world, you
Mm-hmm.
did see the news about these shootings these past weeks, right?
Like, it's been a month of just shooting after shooting, and I'm like,
Like almost every day,
girl.
every day. So I have so many reservations about our gun control laws in the United States.
Yeah.
Um, with that shooting down there in how you pronounce the name of the city?
Uh,
Uvaldo, right?
Uvalde.
Uvalde. Okay.
Yeah.
How do you like? How does somebody just fix their mind to go into an elementary school and shoot, kill 19 kids and two teachers? And the thing that really broke my heart is that I saw a Facebook post of a parent whose daughter passed away, and I'm going to say her name out of respect. Her name is Alexandria. This baby, they had a award assembly that day, and it was a beautiful picture of her and her mom and her dad. And on the post, the mother said, "We had a great time that day." She was an a honor roll student, and it said we told her that we were going to see her later, and later never happened. And so that literally broke my heart, because a lot of times we think that we have forever with the people who we love, and we never realize that forever can end so soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
But how you shoot kids, and then the little 4 year old covering her, I don't know if it was a boy or a girl, covering themselves in their classmates' blood to play dead so they won't get shot. You four,
And you know this. You're
but
four.
you
At
but you
four,
know
I wasn't. No, I wasn't thinking.
but but we never experienced that before. Like, you start going into survival mode.
Man, like
It's survival.
that is that is so
It's tough.
unimaginable to me because when I was four, we didn't have like school shootings wasn't happening, and if they were happening, we didn't know about it. My whole concern was being the Pink Ranger,
Right.
playing with my best friend, you know, being
Making
able
sure I
to
get up.
write my colors and doing some numbers and knowing what the color fruits are. Like, I mean, it was just very simple things. Learning how to tie my shoes. I wasn't thinking that, oh, if somebody come in and shoot up my school, I need to put blood on myself so I can play dead.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
what in the hell? And I just really wonder, what does it take? What is it going to take for the governor of and the senators of Texas to fix these gun laws
You know what is
take
going
it
to take.
very seriously, because they don't.
You know what it's going to take, Ebony, is if Greg Abbott or Ted Cruz, their kids or their grandchildren are in a school shooting and they lose them. That's what it's going to take,
Yeah,
because they're not losing nobody.
no, they're
They're
not.
not losing nobody.
They're not
It's
losing
not
our
it's not hitting home for them. That's
no.
what it's going to take.
They're people, but it's other, but the people that you claim you care for and that you're trying to protect and that you want to protect, you're doing nothing to protect them. You're done.
Yeah, Ted Cruz spoke to the AR convention that was in Houston, and I think if I remember correctly, I saw a clip of the video on Twitter. He blamed it on video games. See, I have a problem with that when they do that. Uh, Guns and shootings was all happening way before video games ever got on the scene.
So stop trying to blame video games. No, this is poor gun control.
Like, I don't understand why it's, let's say, I'm gonna pick a country, and I want to get the country right, and I believe it's Australia. They had one school shooting. After that one school shooting, and it happened years ago, they've never had any type of incident like that. Same thing with the UK. I know in some Asian countries, if I'm not mistaken, Japan, their officers, they don't even have guns to control anything, but they have such a low crime rate.
Yeah, and I mean,
So
because they're very strict with their laws and what the punishment is.
exactly. See, our thing isn't with the United States, and don't get, and please, y'all, don't get us wrong. We are proud Americans, but
Yeah,
we're not blind to the faults. We're
yeah,
not blind to the faults. But we live in a democracy. Okay, nothing wrong with that, because we have our rights and we have our freedoms. But democracy can only go so far.
hmm yeah.
Okay. Democracy can only go so far. I think it's where we have to balance being a democracy, being a communist or a dictatorship. But certain things like our inalienable rights that we have, we just take it to the extreme sometimes, like the freedom of speech. You know, you first something happened, the first thing a person want to say, "Oh, well, I have freedom of speech." Okay, well, freedom of speech does not dictate freedom of consequences.
Yeah, 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 totally. Like, and it's very baffling to me how people can say all of these things about my rights, my rights, my rights, but what part of the rights are supposed to protect our people? And
Exactly.
not just from the shootings, but these individuals who have mental health issues. Mental health has been around and research has been around for a while. Knowing the signs of depression and people having anxiety and all of these other things, like this shit's been around for a very long time. How in the hell do you not know when somebody is depressed? How in the hell do you not know when somebody is you know is not acting themselves? And it shouldn't be cast that, oh, they're just a weird kid. No, y'all need to be asking and talking to these kids and really seeing what's going on with them. And especially if you looking and you saying that these kids are being bullied, because I guarantee you this kid is being, like, whoever the person that shot up the school, they've been bullied.
You need to address that. You need
Yeah,
to address that.
this
And
to be addressed, and what really truly needs to be addressed is the mental health in Texas, because
yeah.
we're one of the states that are like at the bottom of, because y'all don't care about mental health. And even the fact that I've worked in a few community mental health facilities, and the fact that pretty much whatever comes in, I gotta, I have to treat it. And that's okay, but when you lay certain stipulations that have to be followed for me to do a particular therapy to help somebody, it puts me in a box to where I'm not able to fully reach my potential in helping people, that I have to try and reach a potential that's in a box. That's not a way for anybody to grow. If all I'm given is that we can only diagnose people with with only four diagnoses, that's what y'all are gonna give funding for. Not just any diagnosis.
But
And then
Pacific diagnosis.
yeah, for very specific ones. Because
Oh no.
um the North Texas Behavioral Health Authority, we call it NIPA, they only treat for major depressive disorder, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, and schizoaffective.
So
Those
what
are
about what about the other ones? Would they just shit out of luck?
I mean, or
Like,
the thing is, like, the prescribers, they have to go with like whatever's closely related between those four. And it's like, but then, when it comes to modalities, I'm only really able to use two. And there's way many more modalities in therapy used than just those two. Now, on the flip side, working in private practice, some of these insurances, like especially Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas, they don't pay worth shit for mental health. Like, they may pay 30, $40, and
that's
then
it.
the rest of it, the person has to pay out of pocket. Yep, that is it.
Oh no. So I work at my company. We get 2 free sessions a month. And then if like something major happened, like the shootings, oh, they're on top of that. Like, hey, we have resources here. Don't forget your insurance can cover this, that, and the third. So, if I need to have sessions, I know for a fact that my company will do that
The fact that
for
you
me.
sessions a month, like, that's really good. That's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
So,
But
but that's a company basis.
yes, a company. But back at the topic at hand. I found out like a day or so after, or 2 days after the shooting,
Yeah.
that one of the teachers who passed away, girl, her husband died of a heart attack. And they're saying it's the kids. Unfortunately, I feel for their children because now they had to bear the mother, and now they have to bear the dad. And
Oh,
they had been high school sweethearts and had been married for 25 years, four
oh,
kids,
wow. Wow.
4 kids.
Ooh,
And then
that
it was the next day or the day after. It was another shooting. Big surprise.
surprise.
Big surprise. Did you? I saw this on. I posted this on Facebook. It was a shooting. I don't. It was the Oklahoma. That was the other day. Somebody went into the hospital in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and shot. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's crazy to me because you go into a hospital, a place of healing, and now people shooting. But it was also a shooting in Louisiana, close to where they were having a graduation at. Nobody was killed. Nobody was killed in that, but it was they. It was close by. So like,
I
what are
mean,
we doing? We're going to hell in a handbasket here.
shoot everywhere, but let me do a shooting here, and ooh, I'm gonna do a shooting there, and I'm gonna shoot here too. Like, I mean, what the hell?
I
What?
just feel sad. I feel sad about this whole thing because it's just such a loss of life all the way around.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a loss. It's a loss of so many things because it's a loss of safety and security. It's a loss of physical life. It's a loss of trust in the system. Like, there's just so many different losses.
You can't go to school. You can't go to church. You can't go to a concert. You can't
Yeah.
go to a graduation. You can't go into the hospital without somebody shooting.
Hell, a grocery store. Like, I mean, shit. Hell, and like literally nowhere is safe.
Nowhere is safe. Like, it's so crazy. I don't know what they're gonna be doing. Like you
Like,
said, I think it's gonna be something. It's gonna have to be like a drastic, major something so major that they're gonna have to be forced to
yeah,
change our
definitely.
gun laws.
Oh,
Now, with me personally, I own a gun. I own a 45, but I'm licensed to
mm-hmm.
carry, locked down in a box. Uh, I go to the gun range every now and then, keep my practice up, but I'm not going to take my gun out and start shooting nobody. Like like you said, it goes back to mental health,
Yeah,
and then sometimes I don't even think a lot of those shooters have health issues. I just think that they're just pure evil.
yeah, I do.
I
I
just
do.
think that they're pure evil.
I
That
mean,
you just want to kill somebody.
yeah. I mean, but the thing is, I mean, that still kind of speaks to mental health and having, anger issues and being mad at the world for whatever, and having this belief in your head that, in order for there to be balance, people gotta die. Like, who the fuck made you Thanos? Who the fuck made you God?
Yeah.
But anyway,
Unfortunately, that is how it plays out.
yeah. But
But
on
yeah, go
something
ahead.
a lot more
Upbeat. Let's get out of this funk.
this week. Oh God, Monique and DL Hughley.
Oh boy.
Girl, when I heard
Nah.
something was going on, I was like, "Ooh, okay. Let me see what Monique did." I was like, she came for DL. I said, "Oh, I got to see what this is about."
Monique be coming for everybody. Let's be honest.
So her and both DL Hughley, they were going to be doing a comedy show together. Like, both their contracts, the promoters told them both that they would be headliners, that they would both be headliners. Now, the headliners are the people that close the shows, right?
Right.
Well, when it got time for everybody to show up so they could do their bit or whatever, um, from what it was told by DL Hughley is that Monique got there later than what she was supposed to. She got there like 2 minutes before she was supposed to go on stage. Well, when she got there, she got all mad and upset and was like, I'm the headliner, I'm not going on or whatever. And so he was like, this is my contract. Well, she commenced to going on stage, and the first 10 to 12 minutes, or really like the first 10 to 20 minutes, well, I only saw about 10 minutes of it, but I really think that it went on for for a full 20 minutes, maybe a little bit more than that. Her 20 minutes of her set was spent on dogging and dragging and slaughtering Dale Hughley about this whole contract thing of who was the headliner and who was gonna go last.
She really did that.
But she did. And now, of course, Dale Hughley, he was like, "No, I don't do this." But since know, since you want to sit there and put stuff out there, later on, I think like the next day, he went on and he put what his contract was. Now, what he showed
Oh, he had receipts.
was a demo deal, baby. He had receipts coming. He had a
Oh,
demo deal, which a demo deal, from my understanding, is it's a shortened version of the contract, because the contract is like everything that everything you're gonna get and everything you're requesting, but just with added legal jargon. The demo deal that you get emailed as a performer or the entertainment that they're trying to hire to do something. Um, they send you an email that has like the basics of what it is you're actually getting, whether it's they're gonna pay you this much, or you get this much, you get this percentage at the door. We're gonna be doing all of the promoting, and you can do some promoting as well. We're gonna create this, when you get here, we're gonna put you up for a hotel, like whatever they're going to do for you and whatever they're offering you, they're going to put that just the basic stuff in the demo deal for you to say, okay, cool, and sign off on it. So that way your agent, manager, whomever can go ahead and, they're signing off on it, we'll do it. Or if changes need to be made, changes can be made. And then, of course, there's the contract, which most people don't see the full contract because it's just a bunch of legal jargon and there's just really no point to it.
okay.
So Monique did her set. DL Hughley followed and closed the show. He's now to her 20 minutes, he spent 1 minute and was like, damn, he was like, damn, what I missed? I must have missed a whole lot. And he like 1 minute. But later on, when he did his radio show in the GED moment or whatever it's called, um, he addressed it, and he took 7 minutes to address what happened, because Monique was going after him, his sexuality, his wife, his dog, like all this other girl. She was going there, and I mean, and baby, she was dropping all kinds of motherfuckers and niggas and I mean, dropping so many of them, and I'm like, where are the words? Like, where are the words?
There are no
And
words.
I would say this: whenever you get a chance, find those two videos and watch them,
Okay.
because that I mean, whew,
She could have did that off stage if that's the case.
she should have, but that's not Monique, and I'm honestly at the point of tired of her ranting about every goddamn thing, like everybody is wronging you. No, everybody's not wronging you. You were being a diva for no goddamn reason, and you're making black women look bad.
Um, if I was in the crowd, honestly, and she would have ran it like that for 20 minutes, I would have walked out because that's not what I'm paying my money to
Thank you.
see.
I'm not paying for you to
I'm
rant
paying
to
I'm
tell
paying my money some jokes. Now I'm not taking anything away from Monique because I do find her to be a very excellent comedian. She was
Mhm.
probably one of my favorite queens of comedy.
Oh yeah.
Okay, she has her own list of accolades. The spinoff of Moesha, the Parkers, which ran for 5 seasons. We
Mm-hmm.
all love the Parkers. Hey,
Yeah.
Professor Ogilvy. We all love that. I called her every name in the book when she played the mother of Precious, but it was still a good performance. She won
Yeah.
an Oscar, so she has an
Thank
Oscar
you.
under her belt.
Thank
She's good, but I think she makes a mole out of a mountain. And I think people are tired of that. And I want to show you and our viewers, and I'm going to read it for our listening audience too, this tweet. This is how I really became to know about this. And I'm going to share it right now. Give me 1 second here.
Okay. But funny shit, I never saw Precious. I've
You never
never,
saw Precious?
nope, never seen a day in my life.
Okay.
Never.
You might want to watch it. It's good. It's
Maybe,
good.
maybe.
Let me take the overlay off so we can see that. All right. So this is the tweet I saw. Hey, my sweet babies. That sounds just like her.
Mm-hmm.
Be unafraid to stand up for yourself. Be okay with the ridicule. Be okay with people not being on your side. As long as you're on the right side. I love us for real. Now, when I read this, I said, now, are you loving us? Is this about us? Or is this really about you?
Mm-hmm.
Is this about you and what you're going through? Because I don't see no us in this.
Where
There
the us?
isn't a, where is the us? I
Where's
don't,
it? Where's
where's us? Because us is not going through this.
Thank you. You going
You,
and the
you
thing
are going through this.
and the thing is I do agree with the message that she wrote. However, her behavior I do not agree with it. Because
Absolutely
yes,
not.
you should be you should be unapologetically yourself and not afraid to be you and say no and point something out when it's wrong, but it's all about the way you do it. And if you
Yeah.
can put something that happened behind closed doors out where everybody needed to, like, there's no reason for there to be ridicule if you keep it
But
behind closed doors.
you brought the ridicule.
Yeah.
You brought the ridicule on yourself. Like I
Ooh.
said, that could have been handled off stage or whatever.
And
And
even
even let me add this. And even honestly, if you are confident in your act and what you present, it shouldn't matter if you start first, in the middle, or you ended it with the headline,
don't
because you
matter.
already know people are gonna love you. She should have been okay. I can understand why she's upset about it. I don't know. I can't get behind how she handled it. She should have went out there and killed that fucking show and
Thank
made them realize why she should have been the headliner.
Yes. Yeah, but
That's
she
that's how you get your revenge.
but literally, and Bill usually put it perfectly. She lit that stage on fire so that when he got on, he would incinerate and burn, and she just stood there and just watched the damage happen.
Yeah,
But I guarantee you, he did his thing on that stage because I mean, Dale usually is who he is, and
he's a good comedian. Yes, he
over the
is.
past 10 years, he has become very funny to me. Because when he did the Kings of Comedy, he just wasn't funny.
Yeah, it was. I was
But,
just really watching it to see Steve
but
Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer and Bernie Mac.
thank you. Yeah, no, I was not watching it for him. I wanted to see
Right.
with him. But for me, like, I think life happening and him becoming more educated with comedy and what's going on in the world and who he is as a man and being comfortable in that's grown his comedy. So for me, the way he handled this with the 7 minutes that he spent on his radio show talking about it was very eloquent, very intelligent. Like, it was just handled in the most professional way. He did not down her, he did not talk about her. He just simply said, I now understand why Oprah, Steve Harvey,
Tyler Perry, they don't want to fool with her.
had like they don't fuck with her like that, and they say and they say like doing anything with her is career suicide
But you
because
know what?
like
That's crazy.
it
Oh,
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Go ahead. Okay, I fully agree with that because now it's becoming like in Black Hollywood. You know, you're becoming difficult to work with. And
Yeah.
nobody wants to work with anybody difficult.
Mm.
And I feel like if she keeps down this vengeful, destructive path, she's gonna get blackballed.
Oh, she
And
been
I,
blackballed.
but I
She
feel like that's
been
such
blackballed.
a waste of good talent. Like the woman is
She's so
beyond talent.
Yeah, it's like she's funny. She can do a drama role. And the thing is, I didn't have to see Precious to know that she did a damn good job, because with all the clips and trailers and stuff like that that I've seen, I know she did a damn good
She
job.
did a wonderful job. Like I
And
said, I
so
called her
for
every name in the book, but I couldn't stand the role, but she did it.
But for me, like I said, I respect how D.L. Hughley handled it, because he didn't down. He didn't talk about her. He didn't call her a bitch. He addressed everything the way that it needed to be addressed, and he was like, from here on, he said, I still love her. Will I do anything with her? No. Do I wish her well? I do, but I will never do anything with her. And at this point, I do wish her well, and wish her much success. But other than that, like, there's nothing else. But and then even like, her, attacking, talking about him having a dog. Well, his father passed away. And so the way that his family, like a part of the grieving process, was getting a dog, and they named the dog after his dad, and so that way his dad is with him always, and that's comforting him and keeping his memory alive, which I think is a very sweet sentiment. And then Monique wanted to say, like, you sat your feet under my table. He was like, well, he's like, but I came at your invitation. I didn't come at my own. You invited me, and so I came. You invited me because there was a fight going on, and had a great time. We ate, talked jokes, watched the fight, had a good time, and then I left.
Uh huh.
I
Uh
mean,
huh.
and then she talked about, his manhood, talking about how he, bending over for people and all of this other stuff.
Oh,
But
come on now.
Monique's true deep hurt, and on she said it during that little rant, was that her hurt and pain is really coming from something that happened a while ago, where she was on his radio show, and one of his co-hosts, want to say her name is Jasmine. She she's like, she's like, hey, Monique, you want to play a game? So Monique was like, yeah, I want to play a game. And so she's like, okay, it's called Would You Rather. And so she said, would you rather your husband fuck Lee Daniels raw, or Corinne Stephens with a condom?
Why would you say that?
Why? And the thing is, I can understand you being hurt from that, but why didn't you bring that to him, or why didn't, like, why wasn't that addressed when it should have been?
Right then and there.
Like, that was just, I was like, so why are we just now? Why are people? I mean, unless you listen to the show, why are you just now bringing this up? And so now it's like you're just packing things on, so that way when something happens, boom, you can explode and say, oh, I have a reason. Bitch, no, you really don't. Because, and then the thing is, your problem is not with D.L. Hughley. Your problem is with the promoters.
Yeah. The
That's who
promoters
your
bit off
problem
more than
is.
they should. More than they should
The
chew. What,
promoter,
what, what was the DL supposed to do? He was just supposed to say, "No, I'm not going to headline." What was he supposed to do?
no.
Was he supposed to be like, just, I guess, be a gentleman and say, "Oh no, well, Monique can do it." I guess that's her thought process.
I mean, or it could. I mean, it could have went, a couple of ways, where he went ahead and went before her, and then she went. I mean, like, there's so many ways that this could have went, but for her to sit up here and do a whole rant about this, I was like, girl, here we go again. And you want to call you want to call Oprah, Tyler Perry, Steve Harvey, and D.L. Hughley Coons, baby, you join the train because you the top one.
But how are they coons though? How are they coons? Oprah is a fucking billionaire.
Baby, like, Oprah.
Tyler Perry, and Steve Harvey are millionaires. Self-made. All three of them are self-made. Came from the bottom.
And the thing is, all of them have their own success, have
Yeah,
created their own success in their own ways. You still the one scraping the bottom of the barrel.
exactly. But
Like, you
I
over
guess you
here
don't
doing
see
little
that.
stuff here and there, and getting people all hyped up about something that was not our business.
It wasn't even that
Not
crucial
our
for us to
business.
know. It wasn't.
There was no reason. for anybody to know what happened. Like no reason at all. Like just craziness. And for me, I love Monique. She's a very funny woman, but I'm just so sick and tired of her always ranting about something that black people do. Like, sweetheart, I learn how to deal with stuff behind closed doors because I don't care.
We
Like,
don't.
I mean, I don't. But my thing is when you put it out there for people to listen to, and in some kind of way I see it, it bothers me because now you're putting on, you're feeding into the whole idea of, the angry black woman. Like you always angry about something. Somebody's always wronged you, but it's never what did you do? What
Right.
did you what did you say? You're never giving what you did and what you said. It's always,
Hmm.
oh, they did and they did and they did. Well, bitch, what about you?
What
What did
did you do? Tell it on yourself now. Let's
yeah.
be honest. What did you do to get to this point? What was your doing, their doing that led to this whole
Hmm.
issue?
Yeah, like literally, what was it? Because it can't just be.
All
It
on them all the time.
yeah, it ain't just them. No, it's you too, and you need to be honest about what it is you actually did. But to each his own, and I pray I pray for her for real because you know there's just something in her that that wants and craves this, and that's horrible as hell.
How can you want and crave drama
I
and
mean,
incite drama?
and the thing is, I don't even think it's consciously. I think it's a part of her subconscious. It's a part of her history. It's a part of what she's allowed into her life. That's what I really truly believe it is because I mean, and there are just some people who like the drama, who like all of that stuff, and um, I mean, and if you like that, cool. But I'm just my thing is I always go with Tabitha Brown. Have a good day, and if you can't have a good day. Don't go messing up nobody else's hair. Just I mean,
Okay.
it's,
Speaking of Tabitha Brown, now that you mentioned her,
mm-hmm.
I love me some Tabitha Brown. Um, I think it would be cool for Tabitha Brown to say something to Monique, and here's why.
And if
Ever
Monique Brown and villainize her too.
Tabitha Brown don't care because you know why? You know why? Because this is what Tabitha Brown is gonna tell Monique if that happens. She is gonna read Monique like she read Wendy Williams. Now let's be honest. Ever since Tabitha Brown told Wendy Williams, "God bless you," Wendy Williams ain't been right since.
Honestly, I
Oh,
don't even know what's going on in that
Wendy Williams ain't been right since. Her legs just was swole up to the size of ballpark franks. She been in and out of the hospital health wise. She had one foot in the grave, one foot out. Ever since Tabitha Brown told her, God bless you. And when I saw all those news reports, because she had so many people coming in, especially Sherry Shepard being the guest host of her show,
Oh, okay.
I was like, that's what she get because the Bible says, touch not my anointed, nor do no harm, do harm to my prophets. Ever
Mm-hmm.
since, I think it would be beneficial for Tabitha Brown to just sit down and talk to Monique. Now I know Tabitha Brown, she'll be classy. Like Tabitha Brown is Southern, and so with us Southern ladies, we be like nice, nasty. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna drop some f bombs and you
Mm-hmm.
hold this and you. She's not gonna do that.
Oh,
She's not gonna do that. That's gonna be Monique.
oh yeah, but
Maybe.
uh,
She might.
because I
She
mean,
might get up and walk away, but
my,
I think it would be a good interview though, if nothing
oh,
else.
oh, that would be a wonderful interview, and I would love to see that. Oh, I love to see that. And I would tell you this one thing the thing that turned me off of Monique was a few years ago when she was on The Breakfast Club, and she
Oh
told
yeah,
that
I
what she
saw
was
that.
doing she's like, before I go on, like, make sure y'all show everything from the time I come in to the time I leave. Like, don't be editing nothing like I know y'all do. Well, baby, from the time she came in to the time she left, we saw how she just straight up dogged Charlemagne. Pretty much
It was
apart.
unnecessary.
It was so unnecessary. It was so unnecessary. And that interview, I was like, oh nah, I was like, nah.
Like, it wasn't no cause. Like, what was the reason behind you doing it? Like, you just felt like being a bully and singling him out.
But the thing is, she is a bully. She is.
She is. She
She's
is.
a bully, and it's something that D.L. Hughley said that made me. Oh, I laughed, probably harder than what I should have. He said Precious was not a movie; it was a documentary.
Oh. Oh. That makes you think.
He
Probably
said
no wonder she probably
not a
played a good
movie;
role
it
as
was
it.
a documentary about her life. I said, oh,
You think that's why she did so good as a performance as her mother? She had to
I
dig
mean,
deep.
now I think. I mean, he was joking, but he was joking and kind of serious because I mean, the way she's been acting, like I mean, it really make you think. Okay, like was you really acting? Like was this really an act?
Yeah.
But baby, he said that, and I just I had to pause because I was crying tears, laughing so hard at it. I laughed. I did. I know
Oh.
said that Precious was a documentary.
I don't know. But like my whole conclusion with this whole Monique thing and her issues with different celebrities and her bullying, it's like, when you hold a grudge against someone for years and then wait to repay them, that's not love. She's always talking about love, and it's far from self love. On top of that, forgiveness, turning the other cheek, that shows real kindness, real compassion, a real mature, grown woman attitude. Because I feel like you're too old to be acting like this now. Okay, yeah, I feel like you're too old to be acting like this. So you can't follow everyone's teaching. Like a lot of people, like she has a big fan base. She has a large platform, and they follow her. Like you can't follow everybody's teaching because some folks can lead you right to hell.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
hell yeah,
Okay.
hell yeah. And my thing is, the one thing that I thought was really sweet was that about a month and a half ago, Lee Daniels was at one of her comedy shows, came on stage and apologized to her for what he did and how he treated her. He took accountability for whatever it was that he did. And I thought that was very nice and very sweet. And so, and they, are supposed to be doing something together. However, I won't be surprised if it don't come out.
That's true too.
I won't be surprised if it don't come out. But my ending thoughts is this. Yes, we should not be afraid to be ourselves and stand up for ourselves. However, if it wasn't done in public, don't put it in public. Because then the ridicule that that you get, you won't. That it'll literally stay between the people that it needs to stay between. And I mean, you have to have some pride about yourself. You have to have some type of self love about yourself to say, you know what? And then my thing is, if you claim that you love us enough to not bring us into your dirt. Love
Ooh, it's
us
deep.
enough to not bring us into your problems because we already at home got our own problems. Because
And
if
we
I
don't need no
I
more.
bring to come see you, your job is to make me laugh. I don't give a fuck about what you feel about D.L. Hughley, Steve Harvey, Oprah, Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry, God, the
Netflix,
devil,
all
the
that.
sea, the flow, the ceiling, the clouds, the sun. I don't give a fuck. Make me laugh. Because that's what that's what part of your paycheck is for you to make me laugh.
And you would think that's your craft. Now, how you built your brand.
But now your brand is about bullying and throwing ridicule on people that did you wrong.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just, I hope. that one day she finds healing and growth, and she really truly learns to love herself, because this does not show self love. This does not show love. This shows hate and negativity, and I ain't got time for the vibes.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree on that.
Yep.
All right. So moving on in our docket, um, we have our last segment, which is our professionally woke.
Yeah.
And
So
so, go ahead.
so for me, it just kind of goes back to us living this thing we call life, you know, and just knowing when to take a break. Um, because one thing that we're not taught when we're young is how to take a break. It's okay to take a break. And so, as you go through life and you're working and taking care of your family, taking care of yourself, and working and doing all of that other stuff, take a break. If you need a mental health day, take a mental health day. If you need, if you say, can't really take a full day, okay, I'll take a half day. Take a half day, but do whatever you need to do for yourself. If you need to be like, hey, mama, can you watch the kids, today, just for this one day, or find ways to just take a break and breathe and just do for yourself and be for yourself, because you will never know how much taking care of yourself will help how you parent, how how your friendships will grow, how your relationships will grow, and how you will grow. Just within for your own self growth and even for your own healing. So y'all just take a break and take care of yourself.
Absolutely. I feel as though we're taught as a young child that's saying like you work hard now so you can play hard later on, and sometimes for a lot of people later on doesn't happen.
Hmm.
So we're taught to like, work. We have to work to support ourselves, work to support our family. If you have a family, and then you put so much, you give and give and give and give, and people are taking and taking and taking, and then you never have time for yourself. And before you know it, your body's broke down, and the kids are grown, and then you don't have anything left else to do because you spend all your time taking care of others, and you don't know what to do with you don't know what to do with yourself.
Yeah.
But I wholeheartedly agree with taking a break for mental days. Even like if you're transitioning from jobs, like
Hmm.
still take a break in between those jobs.
Yes. Take a week. Take
Or
a week.
two, or two. If you can afford it.
Babe, I know for me, when I was going in between jobs this last time, babe, I took 2 weeks.
Like, take that break. You never know how mentally exhausted you are.
Yep.
Dealing with people on a daily basis is exhausting. You use so much energy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you need some time off, take the time off, because you'll be surprised once you come back. You're more energetic, you're more enthused, you're more willing to engage, and your thought process is different because you had that time of not only mental rest but also physical rest.
And
Okay.
afraid to say no and set boundaries, because that's one thing that we are never taught is
Yep.
saying no and setting boundaries, and that definitely speaks to full work. Like if your boss is always asking you to stay late, at what point in time are you gonna say no and say is is
Exactly.
that we can get this done tomorrow? I know that once I get in, I'll have some time. I'll get it done tomorrow. But tonight I'm going home, and every night this week I am going home when I'm supposed to go home, because that's unfair to you that everybody else gets to go home and they get to go home, but you don't. No, sweetheart, take your ass to the house. Like
Yes.
set some boundaries,
Absolutely.
set some boundaries, and say no.
I think, like, for me, the only time that I work late is when I do training.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I clock in at a certain time. I clock out at my time because my And I love my supervisor. She's like the sweetest thing ever. Very accommodating and it's taught me so much. But she was like, you work 8 hours. Very rarely we will have to work on a Saturday, but that's maybe once or twice a year, if that. You
Mm,
work 8 hours. That's what
yeah,
you work 8 hours.
yeah.
So, you know, and again, don't allow your boss or your supervisor to put more on you than you can bear. Like
Mm,
it's not fair for you to be doing everybody's job and then they expect you to do your job as well. Now if
mm,
you're gonna pay me, that's different.
mm.
But I'm not doing everybody's job.
And honestly, even if you are gonna pay me, I'm still not gonna do my job and everybody else's because their money is not take like their money is not. I mean, yeah, it's good, but that time is still taking care away. It's taking away from my me time, and I don't want. And that's something that I had to learn. It's like, yeah, getting that, overtime money. Yeah, it's good, it's cool, but what's going on with my mental health? What's going on with my emotional health? And those things are not good.
You're
Nah,
not good.
mm-mm. The money
Yeah.
ain't gonna. Money doesn't matter to me at that point.
I agree wholeheartedly with that one. I totally agree.
Yeah,
Well, I think this has been a good episode.
this has been good, and honestly, it really felt good to be back to just sit and talk and just kind of rant and laugh and joke about some stuff. Like, gotta keep doing this.
Absolutely got to keep doing this. And just like for our viewers who's watching this video on YouTube or listening on Spotify or Apple iTunes or whatever, we will be publishing another podcast this month. We have set a set schedule, and we are going to try our best to maintain our schedule if nothing happens.
Look, keep it like that.
but but if it happens, it happens.
Yeah,
Okay. But please go ahead if you have not already done so. Follow us on Twitter at Essential Detox on Twitter. And also, if you are liking the content that we are providing for you and you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
yeah,
Okay?
comments.
Leave comments. We love comments. We want comments.
Yes.
Okay? If
That's
y'all
all.
agree with us, if y'all disagree with us, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
We let's talk about it. We're not some Moniques. We want to have some healthy, intelligent conversations about some things. Okay? Because we
Mhm.
know everybody has different opinions, and we're okay with that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, again, thank you so much for watching and listening to us. And do you have anything else to add, Ebony?
Nope, I do not have anything else to add.
All right. Well, everybody stay safe. And most importantly, stay blessed and catch us on our next episode. Goodbye, y'all.